Welcome to my Oceanhorn playthrough. This is one of my favorite games, and I just really wanted to show it off. This is like if a speed run and a walkthrough had a baby, because I mean you'll see what I mean when I get into the series. I wanted this to be all one video, but of course with software and hardware limitations, I had to cut it up into several. 3 or 4, I think, maybe. I'm not for sure the number. I haven't edited them all yet. But if there's one life lesson I learned from this whole ordeal, it's that nothing ever goes expected. But I'll get into that more in the series. But I hope you enjoy, and maybe you need to play Oceanhorn, because it's really great game. It's really one of my favorites, like top 10 easy of all time. And so now I'm going to throw it to the opening cutscene, because yes, there will be all the cutscenes and story in this series, along with the speedrun. So, it's going to be pretty good.
I'm leaving tonight and I'm not coming back, kid. My fate is tied to a monster from the depths of time. Oceanhorn. I hear its horrible sound echoing from the sea. It is coming for me again. This is all happening sooner than I thought, and I am forced to act. Whatever happens next, I'm not going to lose you like I lost your mother. This necklace is the last thing left of her. Keep it close and guard it well. I will give you my old notebook from my travels. It will guide your way to an island of a friend. He will help you to prepare for what is coming. I know I'm asking too much of you, but this is the only way to stop Oceanhorn.
Wake up. The time has come.
And so it begins. Here we are in Oceanhorn. This is all post-commentary, by the way. I mean, if I tried to do this with live commentary, I probably would have pulled my hair out, because this whole journey of making this series was really stressful on me. I'll get into that later on when there's a better part of not much happening in the series, in the video, whatever. But yeah, here coming up is our first little trick of the speed run. You have to normally push that box on this button, but you can actually just run, and you can beat the little pillar things before they come up. So that's the first little trick. I really like this speed run. It starts off good with just a little bit of tricks and optimization for like managing your stamina and things like that. Oh, look at that. I got pulled back into the button. I always try to like get a few steps, but so in this speedrun, this is a segmented speedrun, which means it wasn't all in one take. oh yeah, look at this. I love that little trick. You can just throw it perfectly and hit both buttons. But yeah, this is a segmented speedrun, and yeah, that's basically, this wasn't all one take. This was, some parts I had a few attempts, and then I would get the best attempt and then put it in the video. I could not, I've only done 2 full runs of this, Oceanhorn speedrun, which, oh wait, actually, I'm gonna cut it short here, because here's some story. You can pause the text boxes. You can pause the video to read the text boxes, and then a cutscene's coming up in a second, so.
A long time ago, these islands were the mighty kingdom of Arcadia. The Age of Enlightenment led Arcadians to outstanding scientific discoveries. Engineering and magic ran deep in their blood. A foul war began as Dark Lord Mesmeroth, who had once been a promising candidate for an archmage, led dire folk armies to a war against Arcadia. With the aid of his dark magic and the dire folk, Mesmeroth dug deep into the ground and brought to daylight something that should have stayed in the depths of the earth. Triloth, a mass of dark energy left over from the creation of the world. Black boats arrived to the gates of Arcadia, carrying the dark energy Triloth. Soon the light from the world and from the hearts of men faded. The once flourishing society disappeared into the darkness. After the catastrophe, 3 sea monsters appeared. One of them was Oceanhorn. Oh, it is a vile creature, born under the dark burning light of Triloth. Although all of these monsters were powerful, only one has survived up to this day. Oh, it is getting late, kid. Return to me in the morning.
Man, I really like the story and the lore of this game. It's really enticing. Oh man, I just can't get over how much I love this game. It's so wild. It came out of nowhere for me. But here's another brief cutscene, but there's no audio or no talking or anything. So I'm just gonna keep talking. But what I was saying was, I've only done maybe 2 full runs in like one sitting, you know. My best time was, it was in-game time. It was like 1:11, I think, like 1 hour and 11 minutes, which was really close to the world record. And I think in real time it was like 1:13 or something, and so I was a few minutes off. And I originally wanted this video to be of a world record. I was gonna get the world record for the video, but I ended up not being able to, and I'll get into that, like I said, later on of why. Here's some more text. I don't know what. Just pause it if you want to read these, and another cutscene's coming up.
Old scriptures tell about sacred emblems, relics that hold the power of gods. Their purpose was to maintain the balance of the world, but they lost their power in the catastrophe at the same time as Oceanhorn appeared. I believe that was no coincidence. To unravel the mystery of Oceanhorn, you must find out what happened to the sacred emblems. Here is what I know of them. The emblem of Earth that belongs to the Auru people is hidden in the Perta Desert that was once a vast and beautiful forest. Most of its beauty withered along with the Aurus, wise and fearless bird people. The emblem of ocean belongs to Gilfolk, the people living in the waters of the world. Emblem of ocean is a relic of their long-past glory and former power. The emblem of sun was the pride of Arcadia, a symbol of hope and determination for our kind. I will tell you more about it later. It is time to begin your journey. Seek the sacred emblems. This is the only way to get to Oceanhorn and find out what happened to your father.
Yeah, that gives us a little preview of some places we're gonna go. And old Hermit here gives us our first new island and gives us the key to the gate that's blocking off the pier so we can get in our boat and we finally start sailing. Which I think is honestly one of my favorite parts of the game, just especially when I was doing the speed run, because oh yeah, he's got this little seashell we can talk to each other through. I really like this part of the game, like of the sailing, and it's, I mean, you'll see right here how just pretty. Look how pretty this game is. It is just so gorgeous to look at. And in the speed run, I like this these segments especially because it gives you like a little break, and I like that a lot. Here's my favorite NPC in the game, the Mustache Man. Always drives by you. He's so nice too. Look, have a beautiful, I mean, it's a beautiful day. Have a safe trip. The nicest guy. So in the story, I really like that it's kind of set back in the older days where, you know, sword and shield and magic, but they also have these machines and scientific breakthroughs and stuff, like in the cutscene a while ago where Hermit was telling us about the Age of Enlightenment. You know, I love it. I hope that these videos are entertaining. I just really wanted to show the game off. Really, that was the main goal of this series, and you know, I think I'm accomplishing that. I hope. And so here we're on our first island here. Actually, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I always pronounce the town wrong.
What a wonderful little village. You know, this was the life I always imagined for myself. There's no time to rest, though. I'll just ask for directions and move along.
Yeah, here we got to talk to old John. He gives us the island location of Withered Lands. And then we got to talk to Kirk. He gives us the Balm Island location. But yeah, if you heard there, my father, he gives you like these nice little monologues because he gave you his diary. So you're basically just reading what he wrote about all these islands, because he made this like same journey. And so I really like that little, you know, story touch. So yeah, Balm Island, that's our first island we're going to. I mean, I guess the town was the first island, but this is our first real challenge, because it's like it has an actual dungeon and puzzles and stuff, you know. But it's also pretty, since it is the first island, it's pretty straightforward. There's not much like tech-wise, like speedrun tech-wise. You know, I got this oh, bird. Look at the bird. I love the seagulls. I got the idea to do this series from another YouTuber I like, who did similar videos for the Tomb Raider series. Which I like Tomb Raider too. I mean, not Tomb Raider. I also am a fan of Tomb Raider. Oh,
they say this was the place where
story.
Triloth was excavated. Now people come here either to work at mines or buy bombs. They say you should never enter caves or dungeons without some bombs. Could be some puzzles in there, I guess.
Some good old wisdom from my father. Saying, you know, it's good to bring bombs into dungeons. There's got to be some puzzles in there. He guesses. Which is true. There's puzzles in every dungeon. So yeah, see, we break that bridge. We come down here. Here's our technically our first puzzle. Just a basic little block puzzle. Just so we can get across the gap. Oh, there's a skull boy. Skull boy, skull bug. Do I take it? Yeah, I take damage here. When I was practicing this, I would sometimes beat the spikes, and I would get there before I wouldn't have to take any damage, so didn't get it that time. But I think this would be a good this series might be a good tutorial for the speed run. Not that I'm an expert by any means. This was like I said, I only done like two full runs, and then this is like a segmented run, so it's just like basically just kind of practice. But I mean, it's the whole route, so you know, I don't know. If you see there, when you fall off of ledges, I've noticed if you take your shield out, like right before you hit the ground, I mean, you gotta play with the timing, but it can kind of cancel out the little stagger animation that you have. I think it saves a few. I mean, I think it saves time. Look at this damn rat attacking me on my back. I think that saves a little time. I'm not sure. Like, I haven't tested it or anything, but I think so. It's something to look into or keep in mind. I mean, it looks like it's faster, you know. Look at that rat trying to get me. Here's our next block puzzle. Super easy. The puzzles in this game aren't too difficult. There's a couple that playing casually gave me some trouble, but you know, it's not too bad. Especially when you learn the speed run, it's you just memorize them all. So, man, I'm so excited for Oceanhorn 2. I'll leave a link in the description of this video, and every video actually in the series, for the developers Cornfox Bros. I'll leave a link to their blog where they you know, they give out updates for the development of Oceanhorn 2. They release trailers and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I am so excited. The only thing that it kind of sucks is it'll probably come out for mobile first, like this game did. So I'll have to wait until they have a PS4 release before I can play it, sadly. I do not have a good enough phone to play it. And here we got the master key for this dungeon. And, you know, basically when you get the master key, you're pretty much done. You know, that opens like the last door. Usually to I was gonna say usually to a boss, but there's only a handful of bosses in the game. There's not one for Bomb Island, actually. I mean, I guess you could technically say these things kind of are the centipede guys. We can just run past them. You don't even have to fight them. And so here we pick up our first item. Listen to the triumphant music. We got the bombs. And the bombs are super useful. We just throw one right off the bat to blow up these crates. And then we're just getting out of here. Or basically, that's basically the end of Bomb Island. So all we gotta do is hit this button and go out the back door. Then we just gotta run back to our boat. Just a bunch of rats chilling in the water. There's a message in a bottle too, but you know, for a speed run, you don't really stop to check stuff. And see, I did the little shield trick again. So after this, we're going to Withered Lands, and this is actually like the longest, I think the longest boat ride in the run. I could be wrong, but I'm going to take this opportunity, since it's a lot of downtime. I was going to talk about the kind of the journey it took to make this series, because man, it was very stressful for me. It was really fun at first because I was learning the game. You know, it wasn't much pressure. You know, just kind of, you know what I mean. I probably took maybe 3 days to learn the run, because it's not super complicated. And then after that, I did my first run myself, like blind. I mean, not blind, but without like the guide or tutorial. And I did okay. I got like hour and 20 minutes. Then the next run, I got an hour and 11. That's the one my best one so far. And then after that, I was really trying to get the world record. And I'm a perfectionist, and so it just caused an overwhelming amount of stress and anxiety, and I actually had a panic attack too. And so after that, I kind of called it quits for trying to get the world record. I just couldn't deal with it, you know. And so I figured a segmented run would be the next best thing. Well, I mean, technically, actually, more father monologue, so I'm gonna be quiet for a second.
It's hard to believe all this wasteland used to be a forest. Forests lived here. They are all gone. A great deal of wisdom disappeared with them.
And, but yeah, like I was saying, the original plan was to do just a decent run and then make it into a long video. But of course, I just was a perfectionist. Anytime I'd make one little mistake, I would start the whole run over. This is my favorite island, by the way. I'm a sucker for deserts, and this one is so pretty. And right here is another little trick for this island. You take this skull, you can actually hit this button. It cuts out a lot of you having to run up there and push that spiky ball guy on the button. But what was I saying? But yeah, that's like the story really. Well, I mean, actually, yeah, like, okay, I remember now. Like, what I originally planned was I was gonna do the run, just a half-decent run, after the speed run attempts failed because of the anxiety. I was gonna do a half-decent run. Oh, there, I do a level up so I can get past this box. And, I was gonna do that and then make it into one video. But then, my PS4 can only record for an hour at a time, and the run's longer than an hour. And so, I had to do it in 2 videos. Well then, I realized that the recording, or the editing software I use on my PS4, it's important to use your stamina here to get past that guy, he'll block you. The software that I use to edit my videos, it can only record like an hour at a time too, like 1 hour-long video. And so I couldn't put the videos together. And so I think that would kind of invalidate the run anyway. I'm not sure. And then after that, I ended up having to I decided to put the story, to have like a walkthrough. So here's some more of the story. This is Rigger. He's the last of his kind of the owl people, and he just gave us our first spell, and that's very important in the run. And then here's a cutscene, so I'm gonna not talk.
In the center of Great Forest was a shrine where the Orus traveled to purify and meditate. The emblem of Earth was the heart of that shrine, and its power flowed into my people and the forest. But when the darkness of the catastrophe hit, a man in a dark cape offered his help to the Orus. He brought a seed to the shrine, and the seed started to grow violently. Now Termus, a demon plant, has taken over the shrine. The shrine is located on a nearby island that used to be a part of the Perta continent. Travel to Great Forest. Those lands belong to us Orus. The spirits of our ancestors rest there.
Welcome back. I'm sorry for the abrupt end on the last video. I forgot that, I had to cut that one short because of the software limitations I was talking about. And so here we got our first spell. And the spells are really important in this game. I mean, for one, you need them to do puzzles. But for 2, there's a little trick here. If you notice, I can cancel the spell. I'm not supposed to be able to move until that gate comes down. It's like a little cutscene. But you can cast a spell and cancel it, and it allows you to run through the cutscene. And you can also do that without having to cast a spell. It's just you just bring up your little sword to cast it, and you immediately cancel it. And you cancel out the cutscenes. And so here we're going to the old Great Forest. Oh, my favorite NPC, Red Sky at Night, Sailor's Delight. He almost crashes into me. I'm trying to think of my thought process. Where did I leave off? I was trying to talk about the journey that it took to make this series. I don't want to talk about it too much, though. You know. I mean, I want to talk about the run. Oh,
once
more story.
Expanded all over the Perta continent, and now only this small island remains. Deep within it lies the Forest Tribe, sacred place of Olus.
Okay, so here on this island, we're trying to get our first emblem. There's 3 in the story that we're trying to get to try to bring back the islands, you know, and so here we're trying to get the first one, the Emblem of Earth, if I'm not mistaken. Here's another little trick. You can cast magic while you're opening the chest. I hit this, it was kind of off screen, but it was a button or a switch for a little door thing later on in the level, so. And yeah, that's where we're going now. Here's another little block puzzle. Not too complicated or anything. Yeah, it's just funny. My if I've learned one thing, like one life lesson from this series, it's things never go in life as you expect them to be. And it's crazy. And here I hit a button off the switch, or off the screen, magic cancel to skip the cutscene, and then you know it saves a little time. Then you want to throw a bomb over here. Of course, a little spiky guy hits me into the spikes. Yeah, that bomb blows up those crates, so you can, you know, move that. And here we're coming up on our first, kind of the first little boss. I mean, I guess technically it's a mini boss, but it's a boss nonetheless. I try to, I'm gonna show off here. You can do a magic cancel in cutscenes too, like actual cutscenes. If you look at me, look at me scampering away.
Trespassers will be punished.
But yeah, here's the first boss. If you notice this, this girl, this lady here, she's an owl person like Rigger is, and Rigger's talking about being the last of his kind, but he doesn't know there's more. And so, I mean, will they reunite? You know, you gotta find out. And then here we go, using more magic. Hit a button off screen, magic cancel, and run to the door. And now we're into the dungeon. The dungeon of the Great Forest here. I hate that mask guy. He always hits me when I run by. And usually I take the hit, but right now I only got 1 heart, so gotta play it kind of smart. Now you want to get as many bombs as you can. That magic cancel, by the way, was completely unnecessary, I think. But you want to try to stock up on bombs here, because the boss of this dungeon, the first like big official boss, you need bombs for him to kill him like quick, you know. You can also use the bow and arrow, which is what we get later on, but bombs work the best. So yeah, we're just getting out of here. And here we're gonna do more magic cancels. Yeah, actually, I really like the little tech. I think this this next part is probably my favorite bit of speedrun tech in the game. Speedrun trick, glitch, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. It's really cool. It's right up here through this door. I hope my commentary is enjoyable. I'm just kind of commentating over you know, what I did. Maybe you can learn how to do the speedrun yourself. And if you're better with handling stress and anxiety, unlike me, you could maybe get the world record. So here we do the magic cancel. And we can run around during this cutscene. You're not supposed to be able to. And I go over here to break some bottles or whatever. Yeah, here it is. Now, if you sprint off of this, rapidly tap X, you can hit the hitbox for the ladder. Completely skip that boss. That was Termos's arm, by the way. It's a little mini boss. But yeah, I love that. I love that you can just skip the whole boss. It's so cool. And with the master key now, we can open up the master chest and get us a bow and arrow. And this is important. You have to do a magic cancel here. Otherwise, the game kind of, it's kind of laggy, I guess. Or loads really, really, really slow. So the magic cancel is important there. Yep, see? He always hits me. But being that I have more hearts here to work with, I can kind of just take a hit, you know. You know, right now we're just, since we have the master key, we're just trying to make it to the boss now. I got lucky there, I got 2 hearts. 2 heart drop. Run through some spikes. You basically always run through spikes in this game. I mean, yeah, speedrun wise anyway. I get lucky, get another bomb here. So we got max bombs going into this boss. And here's this guy. I think I consider this guy the first official boss. Look at this guy, Termos. That Termos's arm. This is where the arm came from. You start off here, pick up this rock, hit this guy. The basic strategy for this boss is you just take out the arms. I think with your sword, I think it takes 4 slashes to take an arm down. And then you want to throw bombs at his mouth. I think I threw 1 too many here. I did, I think. But yeah, his arms, they only take 2 or 4 hits with your shield. Oh my god, I can't talk. It takes 4 hits with your sword. But if you hit it with a bottle or, you know, something, then it only takes 2. You basically want to take those out as quick as possible. Get in the corner and then bombard him with bombs. But if you don't have bombs, you can use the bow and arrow, which it doesn't do as much damage, but you know, it works. Let's see, I'm on a decent pace here, I think, with taking him out. This is easily like the longest time-wise to beat boss. Every other boss you can pretty much kill pretty quick. Oh, here, was it here? No. I make a pretty bad mistake that I left in the video. That's coming up. That's gonna be funny though. I also, instead of cutting out all the mistakes, I actually turned them into little segments that I'm gonna call flashbacks of what not to do in a speedrun. And so, this actually should have been one of them, but yeah, here I'm trying to take him out. Look, 1 more hit, but he actually eats me. And so, you know, if you were good, you would have probably killed him there, and not made a dumb mistake and then had an extra cycle to go through. But you know, that's okay. It's just extra Oceanhorn, really. And that's never a bad thing. And yeah, we just gotta take out his arms, and he's literally just 1 hit away. Just 1 quick arrow to the mouth. Oh, actually he's just dead. I forgot about that. So here's the more story cutscenes.
Tana Muyu Ryuku Sishi Nihi Akahama Dono Ekeset Neheme Tana Muyu Ryuku.
You freed the Great Forest Shrine. I can finally return here to sing a long song to my ancestors. The least I can do as last of my kind is to show respect to my roots.
Maybe you would allow us to join you.
You see how shocked and happy Rigger was to know he's not the last of his kind? I love that. I love that part. Yeah, I love that little cutscene. But yeah, we just learned about Riptide Reef, where we're gonna find. Well, first off, we got the Earth emblem. Finally, we got our first emblem. And yeah, there's Riptide Reef. And there's we won't be going there for a while. We're actually going back to town right now. And then we're gonna run into my favorite NPC again. Yeah, you can see when I'm playing. I constantly just look around and just really take in the beauty of this game. I almost missed it in that time. I always thought it's funny. He said he's gonna have a good time in town, but he's going the opposite direction of me, and that's where I'm going. He's going the opposite direction. I don't know where he's going, because town's this way. It's right in front of me. He's going the opposite direction. A little joke I had, inside joke I have to myself when I was running this game. And yeah, up here, they're having in town like a little festival type thing, which we have to help out with. And look, there's a Sky Island up there. That's the one thing this game is lacking in, is some of the islands, like Sky Island or Bomb Island. It's like they could have gave them a little bit more creative names. That's like the biggest gripe for me, to be honest, and that's like very, very, very minor. It doesn't even like really matter. Festival of Sun. We gotta go get the fireworks. We gotta start the fireworks. So she gives us the key here. And see, I popped my level because I was hoping it would be one that would refill my items, because some levels that you get to does, but it wasn't, sadly. Because we're going into another little boss fight here in a minute. I almost died there. If you run out of stamina in the water, you die. And that's never good, you know. Whether you're speedrunning this game or just playing casually, you know, you don't want to die. So you see more metal spiders here. And we're just gonna run up here to the boss. So you can see here that I'm trying to stock up on some bombs and some arrows for this upcoming boss fight. You don't want to like go out of your way to, but here's the Dark Apostle. We saw him at the start of the game. He released those damn metal spiders at me. Ideally, you want enough bombs to just insta-kill him with bombs, but I didn't have enough. I was trying to get him trapped in the corner like I did with the first, the owl lady. But I mean, I got a quick kill on him. And you can rewind the video and pause it on those text boxes. I skipped past them too quick, but here's a cutscene, so I'm gonna shut up.
I wish I was able to travel the world like you. There are so many places I would love to see. Deserts of Pirta, mysterious Gilfolk's Drop, beaches of Southwind Isle. But my father and the town need me. It is my place in the world, and I don't complain. But please come to see me every time you visit Tikkuril, okay? What's that? An acorn. Acorn is a symbol of hope. It must mean you will find your father. You're giving it to me? Come on, let's plant this together.
So we watched these fireworks with this nice lady here, and she's really useful. She gives us 2 island locations: Southwind Isle, which is where we're going next, and Gilfork's Drop, which probably is the hardest dungeon in the game, or in the run, I mean, because you know, obviously there's a lot more to the game than what I show in the speed run, because you're just trying to beat it as fast as you can. And then we run into my favorite NPC again too. He's coming up here. Fireworks last night. Yeah, I did. I saw him. You know, another stupid inside joke of mine. As normally when I was doing the speed run, I skip all the cutscenes. But this time, since I'm including them and watching them all, I actually saw the fireworks this time. But yeah, if you notice here, I have a gun now. I'm kind of back and forth on the gun, like shooting stuff while you're sailing around, because I really just enjoyed it. Just when you're just sailing, not having to focus on shooting things, like casually and speedrun wise, I just like that better. But I mean, this gives you good opportunity to stock up on things, because you get hearts and bombs and stuff from shooting the crates. Yeah, here we're about to arrive. Southwind Isle. It's got that little glitch, if you notice on the side. Yeah, this game doesn't have a lot of glitches. It's really well made. Yeah, I'm not going to talk more monologue here.
Whenever I sail past a beautiful island like this, I feel hope. All this glory Gaia has blessed us with still remains, even after the last man has left this world.
Yeah, so here we're trying to hit these 2 windmills. If you notice, I did a magic cancel so I could keep running through the cutscene. We just hit those and then, drop down. You can kind of skip over little parts of the map with how the game is made. You just skip over some stuff like that, which is really cool. I always really love the art style of this game and like the perspective you have. Here's another little skip here. You skip past the puzzle doing that. But yeah, I always really love that about this game. I think that's why I liked it so much. But here we hit a button, magic cancel, and we get over here. That saves a little bit of time. One time I threw that log, but I threw it up and it landed above me, and then I was stuck. And so here's another little block puzzle here. Not too complicated, you know. Yeah, this dungeon's not too difficult. There's no boss or anything. We're actually coming here for one purpose that you would probably never believe, and we're trying to get honey. Here's a honey man. He got trapped here. I forgot how we got trapped actually. Luckily the text is in. We can see the text and we can find out how. I like this little puzzle. I think this one stumped me when I was playing casually. But again, it's not too difficult. You can just do it exactly like I'm doing it right now in the video. And we just gotta get our honey. Thank you. I was returning my boat through this cave, then I slipped. Oh, that's how he got down here. And yeah, it's funny how important this honey is in this in the run. Like in the speedrun and casually, this honey is really important. There's a few instances in the run that if you screw up and lose this honey, it's like a run ender. But yeah, you can kind of skip a little bit if you throw and hit the that was kind of out of the way, but you can hit the enemies, you can kind of throw it further than you're intended to. I think that saves a little bit of time too. So now we're going to Gilfork's Drop. And again, run into my favorite NPC. And this is also my favorite line that he says in the game. No bananas on board. I don't know what he means by that, but I like to think he's smuggling bananas illegally. Because if you think about it, there's no bananas in the game. You know, that's the only mention of bananas in this universe, and it must be because he's smuggling them. That's his job. That's why he sells as much as I do. That's canon, by the way. That's real. No, I just made that up. That's cool though. This is actually the start of a new recording session. After the whole banana and honey business, I had to get something to eat. Then I took a nap, and you know, we're good. I'm back, but you won't notice anything because it's just gonna be a tiny, tiny little cut. So here we're coming up on Guilfork's Drop, which is the hardest dungeon in the game, I think. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just my opinion. I don't know the consensus on that in the Oceanhorn community. Now this part coming up is the first flashback segment that I made. I'm gonna be quiet while monologue.
The Guilfolk's Drop. They're afraid to face the Guild, still holding a deep grudge against men and dire folk for spoiling the ocean. Even though Guilfolk's Drop is the gate to the depths, no one has laid eyes on their underwater kingdom.
And yeah, so with this honey, it's really easy to... Yeah, first flashback. This was the first attempt on this run. I threw the honey, and it landed in the little water, and it's gone. That's like a run ender in the speed run. But yeah, so you have to be careful. Really careful, actually, with this honey. There's a few spots that in this little walk to where you gotta take it, that if you mess up, it's a run ender. It really is. And right there too, if you throw it too far to the left or to the right, it messes up. I mean, it gets stuck. Yeah, see, we hit the button, do a magic cancel here. And now we're in the deep cove where we needed the honey to begin with. Because this man here, fish man here, he's like a gatekeeper, and you needed to bring the honey to get into the gate. But we're going to actually take the key he gave us and use it on a different door. So you can kind of squeeze by here, and you can just skip the door entirely. This skips a little bit of the area. Not a whole lot, but... You're just going to take this key, go up all these stairs, and then use it here. And then another magic cancel here, so we can run over here faster. Yeah, I like, I think this is probably my least favorite dungeon. Maybe? I mean, I don't know. The Withered Lands is still my favorite. Oh, I love that little trick. You can shoot the arrow through the door. But this dungeon is really long, and it does have a really cool boss though coming up. And then we start off here in the Cavern of Fire. Another little puzzle, block puzzle. There's another mask guy, but he's a fire guy this time. It's like Pokemon over here. I don't know if the magic cancel saves time here when you're shooting these lanterns. You have to be careful here because a lot of the times I run to the left, run right into those spikes and die. So we're going to use our magic to hit a button, then cancel the animation, and then run over here. And then we get a key, right? Yeah. Cue the fire. That fire guy always nearly hits you, but he never does, really. At least in my experience, he never does. And this kind of an elaborate puzzle. Kind of running all around, doing circles. And yeah, here there's a bunch of spikes, but you can just run through them all. And you can avoid that fire too if you stay to the left, I've noticed, so. And then here we get our next spell. The fire spell. This one's not as handy as the first spell. It's just mainly used for this area. And you'll see coming up when we get to the next part of the dungeon. And we use that guy to light the torch behind us, so we don't have to waste our magic. It's important you do that because you have to have a lot of magic for this next area. So you basically just want to be scarce with it when you can. And here, if you're running low on hearts and stuff, you can hit these bushes. I didn't get anything that time, but you know, sometimes you do. And here, this squid over here to the left, he's a menace. He's killed me before. But turn around block, yep. I think I killed him too. If I had my headphones in, I think I killed him. But yeah, so you use the fire here to just destroy some of this ice. And just, that's like the main purpose of it. It can also kill the fire guys, but you mostly just want to avoid them. There's only one that in the run that I kill personally, because he's a menace. And yeah, it's important to have magic here so you can do magic cancels. Otherwise, you have to wait a long time for the, because it does that little cutscene animation thing 3 separate times. Well, 4 actually. Yeah, this might be my least favorite dungeon, but it's also really pretty. I mean, when I say least favorite, I don't dislike it. I like it, you know. I mean, I like pretty much everything about this game, to be honest. It really is just so amazing. Yeah, here we just gotta use some more firepower. Flower power. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some more magic, yeah. And save Fishman over here. Yeah, I like the boss of this dungeon. I think it might be my favorite boss. And say here, usually, if you have more hearts, you would just run through this. Not through the ice guys, but oh, I guess you can run through the spikes. Never mind. I could have swore I waited. Yeah, here you gotta hit this button underwater, but it's important you don't get that checkpoint. Just because, oh, you have to do a magic cancel here. This guy will mess you up. But it's important to not get that checkpoint before you hit the button, or after, I mean, because it'll like close the gate. It's really weird, and then you have to do it all over again. Man, these ice mask guys, easily my least favorite enemy in the game too. That's probably why I don't like this dungeon as much. Those guys are just really annoying. Like the fire guys, you can just kind of avoid. They're not too, too bad, but the ice ones, they freeze you. It's ridiculous. Oh, and here's the... I keep missing. Like, how do I miss my little cursor? I can't put it over the ice. God, I was gonna redo that, but I decided just to keep it and not like a huge deal. Yeah, but here, you have to deliberately keep your health low for this next part because this is the first death warp of the run. You have to avoid this checkpoint, which is harder than it looks. It's got a surprisingly big like hitbox. And if you're feeling super ballsy, you can run across things like sprint, but I was not, so I was just walking. Yeah, and then you just land on the spikes, die, and then you get teleported back over here. So it kind of skips like having to run back. And this is kind of a tricky shot to do. You have to be far enough back for the arrow to hit both the lanterns. But yeah, we got 3 keys now. Oh, that freaking Iceman. I mean, those enemies are really cool looking, but it's just the fact that they freeze you. It's really infuriating. Yeah, so here we're gonna get probably my favorite item in the game, the Treacher Boots. Now these things are super useful. I mean, they allow you to jump over little gaps. And you can also dodge roll. And here I got lucky. I needed magic for this next part. Luckily, a bat dropped some. Now, if you don't have magic here, it's kind of a... There's one, like, little bottle you can break to hopefully get some magic, but... which is right there in the corner if you see it. Yeah, you have to hit this button. Hit this hidden button. I got too close though and got frozen. That's what happens when you get frozen, by the way. Yeah, see, I got this nice little dodge roll now, which is really useful, I think. I'm not sure if it's faster than sprinting. I think it is, though. Yeah, here we're coming up on this next, next flashback here. Now, see, my health was 1. And I was trying to just try to make it to the boss. And I didn't realize it was 1. I rolled and died. So don't do that. And that's why the door's already open here. And so yeah, take 2. I really like those flashback segments. I turned my mistakes into comedy. And so yeah, we're going back over here since the whole point we needed these treasure boots to get over here. Because in this chest there is the master key. You see I shot I go ahead and just kill this evil mask guy because he's gonna kill me. He was gonna freeze me and make me lose time. He's awful. That's probably oh wait, I don't kill him. I guess I just get the mask off and he's not a threat anymore. But yeah, we got the master key. Now we're getting to the boss. See how the gate closed when you get the checkpoint? You want to avoid that. This next boss is really cool. It's got another magic cancel in it, so you can walk around during the cutscene. It's hilarious. But yeah, this boss is really cool.